This is the Lamborghini Huracan Sterrato, a supercar transformed into an off-roader. As arguably the silliest car I've ever driven, I feel no obligation to dig into the practical details. Instead, this entire video is about what it's like to drive the Sterrato on 3 different environments: track, dirt, and street. I was just looking at the little lizard. Didn't want to kill that guy. It's an adorable lizard. First, some context. The Sterrato is an Huracan that's been lifted 1.73 inches, widened a bit more than an inch front and rear, and restyled as a rally car dream machine. If I were 14, this would be the new poster on my wall. The nose has been reworked for a better approach angle, plus who doesn't love rally lights? Peek underneath and there's aluminum front underbody protection. The fenders have received cladding as the off-road god's command. Up top there are adorable little roof rails, and there's a high-mounted air intake which should help minimize ingestion of dusty air by the engine. The Sterrato employs a 5.2-liter V10 whose output is directed through a 7-speed dual-clutch transmission to an all-wheel drive system with a locking rear differential. For tires, Bridgestone has developed 19-inch Dueler AT002 run flats exclusively for this weird supercar all-terrain application. Here's the 0 to 60 time, here's the top speed, and here's the price tag. That's probably enough details for now. I'm sure you're wondering what the Huracan Sterrato is like to drive. It's fast and it's loud! But only if you want it to be. If you have it in Strata mode, it's actually a fairly subdued ride. The gear changes aren't needlessly aggressive, and you can casually motor this thing around. Yeah. If you want to commute in your Sterrato, I'm not going to judge you. It's a fun time to demonstrate this, but as I'm on this absolutely straight road talking about steering, it doesn't feel like I'm rolling around on off-road tires. If you blindfolded me before you put me in, I wouldn't think, oh yeah, we're rolling on some ATs here. That's a pretty good bump right there. I think that points out that the ride quality in the Huracan Sterrato, for me, feels more than plush enough. Well, plush is not the right word, but I would say soft enough that I could drive this places other than cars and coffee. Really what I need is a back-to-back with one of the more street-oriented Huracans to get a sense of how much softer the Sterrato is. What I'm not feeling is floppy, floaty handling or any kind of this action. Does gesticulating like this tell you what I'm feeling? Is this working for you? Oh, and I know what you want to see. I'm going to come to a complete stop. I'm going to put it in sport mode, and we're going to accelerate from a standstill. 3, 2, 1. Holy shit! Yeah, it still feels like a supercar. Good job, Sterrato. If you can make just one person puke with your driving, you know you've done your job. Sorry, Mark. Oh, one last test. I'm gonna brake really hard. You ready? 3, 2, 1, hard brake. That felt pretty good. I like the, it's good solid braking there. Pedal feels nice. To me, even though the Sterrato is tuned for dirt track shenanigans, it still is giving me all the cues I would expect from a supercar in a street experience. Again, sorry, Mark. To be clear, the ride is objectively firm, especially over chattery tarmac. But among supercars, the Sterrato's road manners are perfectly tolerable. To me, this still feels like driving an Huracan. A Raptor, this is not. But exuding supercar vibes at comparatively slow street speeds is the easy part. Does the Huracan Sterrato fall apart on a racetrack? No, it does not. By the way, you might notice that I'm not alone in the car here. Introduce yourself.
Hi, Richard Antonucci.
Richard's going to be telling me the best method to make my way around the track here, so if you hear him talking, it's totally cool.
Apologies.
The same softness that allows you to drive this thing quickly on dirt gives it a little bit more movement when you're on track, and you'd think that might detract from the experience, and it's exactly the opposite. You can feel the vehicle moving around, and being able to play with that weight transfer and to really engage with the vehicle, to me, makes it incredibly engaging. You might not expect it, but on tarmac, the Bridgestone Dueler tires offer plenty of grip for a good time. Even better, when you exceed their limits, the tires slip in a very controllable way. Some supercars are scary to drive quickly. The Sterrato is not. Would an Huracan on slicks, lowered without all that body movement, be faster? Theoretically, yes. Would it be more fun? Hell no. The Huracan Sterrato might be dirt capable, but it still does all the things you like an Huracan to do on a track. It corners swiftly, it brakes hard, and it sounds brilliant. By the way, I kind of expected the track and dirt drives to be separate events. They were not. Like a proper rally stage, Lamborghini has combined multiple surfaces into a single event. Let's carry on. Nice, you there? So this is the part I've been looking forward to. The off-road section taps into some of my background doing rally driving with dirtfish, and I wasn't sure how wild I could get with this thing. The answer is very wild. One of the challenges when you have a mid-engine car is that all the weight is in the center, and it may want to rotate very, very quickly, making it potentially difficult to catch it if it starts to spin. Brake here. It's amazing because you can come off throttle just a little bit, give it a little left foot brake, the tail will start to rotate, and then you can really carry it through on the throttle. It's so fun.
Very responsive, right?
Yeah, incredibly responsive.
Oh, so we get a really good lap now. Go. Try not to hit any cones. Short shift. Smooth. Get smooth as fast as possible. Tires that are made for a little bit. Oh, I should take out a little bit more. Late apex. Okay, here we come around. Easing into it. Tails comes around just a little bit. Oh my gosh. Okay, a little burn. Beautiful. Short shift third. For as wild as this looks, the Huracan Sterrato is incredibly controllable in these loose surfaces. The key to me here is that this is not about always being the absolute fastest driver. This is really about having fun, and that's an equation that sometimes doesn't add up when you have a supercar. Sometimes it's all about I got the fastest one with the biggest numbers, and it's like, okay, I think the numbers here are big. What I'm experiencing is pure automotive bliss. Rotate, get on the car. Go. Okay, there's some ESC there. So now I got a little bit of ESC intervention. They're going to slow down for this little chicane. But typically I have found that driving, even with ESC on, which they prefer here for this particular event, the ESC is not intrusive. I feel like there's plenty to play around. ESC is on here, and look at how much I can let the car come out. It's pretty remarkable. There we go. Gas. While we enjoy some sick drone footage I shot, let me point out that the Rally Drive mode perfectly supports the Sterrato's playful character. Rally mode smartly apportions torque via the all-wheel drive system to help sustain power on drifts both mid-corner and when exiting. And the mode allows plenty of slip angle on corner entry for those of us who use a rally-style left-foot braking technique to set up our turns. You guys, do you think I'm having fun? I'm having fun! And this is the moment it all came together for me. If you feel differently, that's okay, but I've been reviewing cars for a very long time, and honestly, the concept of automobile as status object is dead for me. For better or worse, my sense of self-worth is not going to improve with Lambo keys in my pocket. Ooh, but using a car to facilitate fun, novel experiences? Now we're talking. To me, you're leaving a lot of joy on the table if you buy an Huracan Sterrato just to inspire envy in strangers. Recasting a supercar as a rally car is a ludicrous idea, and I adore it. The Sterrato isn't just fast, it is fun, and those aren't always the same thing. In the interest of objectivity, I should dig up some criticisms. Let's see. The position of the drive mode selector makes it hard to quickly change modes while driving. One more. Got it. They're only making 1,500 of these things. Around 500 are coming to America, and they're pretty much all sold out. Also, even if the Sterrato weren't sold out, I still couldn't afford one. With those manufactured complaints lodged, I'm gonna wrap this up.
Admiration from strangers is fleeting, but deeply engaged play, like what you can do when flinging a Lamborghini Huracan Sterrato around on dirt, that's the kind of joy that endures. I will never have the money to buy a Lamborghini Huracan Sterrato, but if I did, I would buy it in an instant, and I would drive the piss out of it.